Oh, put this on. Okay. Hey everybody, welcome to FabFit Friday on this very ominous, dark day in Connecticut. It's so hot here. We've been having like 90 something degree weather for the past few days, and it's really steamy today. A little less steamy than yesterday, but still for September. So happy I did not close my pool. So I have a bunch of exciting things that I want to share with you guys today. I'm going to wait and see if anyone comes to join me. So far, I have a big goose egg, but that's okay. If nobody is available to join me today, I will rebel on, and you guys can catch me in the replay. I had to cancel a subscriber Q&A on Wednesday because I broke my bicuspid molar. Hey Janie, welcome. And luckily it was a clean break, and I was able to do with prescription toothpaste instead of a crown. So I'm very relieved about that little issue. And I also had time during the week to sew up a test dress. So this is the dress we're going to be sewing up in a live version today. I'm super excited. Not a live version, but like my size version. I'm super excited, but I really love that I have this mini half-scale dress form so I could test stuff. It was a lot of fun. Let me just stop and say hi. Hey Pat, hey Jane. Ooh, we have in Canada, we have Wisconsin. This is so exciting. Lauren from Wisconsin. Hi Diane Bacon. Donna, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for watching. I'm really excited today because this is the culmination of my bias top and V-neck dress sew-along. Next week, I am going to start a project from this Bias Cut Blueprint book. So if you don't have a copy and you'd like one, just remember Julianne is giving us $10 off if you use coupon code JStern2023 when you check out, and there's a link in the description below for that. Hey Rena, Linda, Tony, Tana, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am okay. My tooth was crisis averted, and then if you saw any of the pictures, I got my new puppy Wednesday evening, and she's very, very sweet, but she's a pain in the butt, and we're trying to crate train her, and it's not going smoothly. So I had about 2 hours of sleep. So I'm a little tired, but you know, when you have a new puppy and they're adorable, the tiredness doesn't seem to matter as much, almost like magic. I will show her to you next week. This week I want to get stuff done, and once I let her up here, I have to make sure I put her back downstairs so she doesn't eat stuff off my floor, even though I'm cleaning at a rapid pace. But I'll share her with you next week. Also, I wanted to show you exciting moment in my life. First issue of Threads mailed to my house. I am an official subscriber to Threads magazine. I invite anybody and everybody who loves sewing to either check out their insider Threads Insider online, or subscribe to the magazine, because I think it's important to support stuff like this, because if nobody does, it's going to go away, and then once it does, everybody will be super sad. So I think we should all join in and support Threads magazine. Now, I am mentioned in here somewhere, and I'm going to have a contest in my J Stern Designs Fit Sew Embroider group for the first person that can find me, but I'm going to start that contest on Monday. So I'm going to give everybody who's listening a little head start, but I am mentioned in here somewhere. So there you go. You have to look hard though, because it's not an article. All right, so that is my little preamble. Let me just say hi to Felicia. Pat says Bailey is a beauty. Oh, if you are in my J Stern Designs Fit So Embroider, or if you're following me on Instagram, I did post pictures of her. She's very, very sweet. Very, very excited about her. Hi, Rena. You received yours while on vacation. Oh, good. It's a good issue. There's a lot of fun in there. All right, so we're going to start with something that I got in the mail. And this woman, Robin, Rockin' Robin's Creations, I put a link to her Etsy store in the description because she asked me if it would be okay if she sent me a free gift. And I said, yay, since it's sewing related. And then once I looked at them, I thought they would make a perfect Christmas gift for someone on your holiday gift list who's a sewer. So I'm going to open this up and share it with you. And then if you want to check them out, you can go to Robin's Rockin' Creations on Etsy. And again, I did put her link in the description below already. So let's take a look at this first. Let me switch. Hey, Diane. Yay. Oh, Diane already found me in Threads. Well, Diane is Diane is one of my, you know, I don't know. I feel like she gets gold snaps. All right. So I like this. She has a little sticker that says, thank you for supporting my small business. And I really feel like that's what we should be about. Like, you know, supporting each other in small businesses. You know, my business is very small as well. So we're going to open this up. And I'm going to show you what's in here. And believe me, this came a couple days ago and it killed me to wait because I wanted to open it up immediately. But because I couldn't come on Wednesday, I had to wait till today. And I'm not very patient. But anyway, let's open this up. Oh, look at how pretty the inside of the box is. I love her stickers. Tissue paper. Oh my goodness, look at this. I get a sticker. Aren't we glad that I just said I love the stickers? These are nice stickers. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take one of these stickers. Now I have something else. Actually, this is going to be kind of fun that this happened this way. I'm going to take this sticker and I'm going to see if I can get the paper off without breaking the sticker. These nails I have are nice, but also they're a little bit of a pain. Whoops. All right, so let me just see if I can get the paper off here. Oh, I think I am. Okay, so watch this. This is going to be super exciting because after I show you this, I'm going to talk about this for a second from Sew Tights. So here's my Rockin' Robin Creation sticker. I'm going to stick it right below my Sew Tight sticker I got. I'm going to put it right here. There, I'm officially a Rockin' Robin. Whoops. See, Rockin' Robin. So you get stickers with this fun thing. And actually there's two. And look what else I get. I get some, look at these fun pins. These pins are fun. All right, so what else is in here? Let's see. I feel like I'm getting a Christmas present. Oh, I love it as much as I thought I would. Look at this. This is a vintage inspired pin cushion. So what she does is she takes pieces of wooden yardstick and makes a box, weights it, and then in here she uses fabrics that are vintage inspired, and then what she does is she fills it with walnut shells like they used to do in the old days. So this is a very nice pin cushion, and look it, I can decorate it with all of the pins that were a extra free little, like, I guess a gift. Look how pretty that is. So this is from Rockin' Robin's Creations, and she has an Etsy shop. And again, I did put her link in the description below. Hey Sally, how are you? Oh Sally, Sally's saying she got the email about my threads pants class. Yes, I got that email too. And actually one of my sewing friends alerted me to it like first thing in the morning. I woke up, I was having my coffee, reading my new Threads magazine, and my friend Pam Howard, I'm sure you guys know who she is. She's amazing. She's like, I got an email from Threads about a super cool masterclass in pants fitting, and I went and looked and I got it too. I was like super exciting. There's lots of fun happening here at J Stern Design. So this is very cool. Again, anyone interested in one of these vintage inspired pincushions, you can check the link below for that. And actually it's going to be best friends with my mom's tomato, which I don't know where that is right now. It's on my table somewhere. But anyway, so I'm going to put this aside for now. And I love it. Robin, thank you so much for sending this to me. It's really, really beautiful. All right, so there's that issue. The next thing I want to talk about is, I'm going to switch gears for a second. I'm going to talk about this Sew Tights, a magnetic cutting mat, in 1 second. But before I do that, I want to stand up and show you something. All right, so you can see here, I wanted to play with taking in the ease. So I took in, I'm going to measure it, 6 inches of ease at the hem, and I went up to 0 here. And I think from the side, if you look, I think that's going to fit better. It's not as gathered and full here. Plus, remember, I wanted to extend this into the dress, and I didn't want it to become too wide. So I'll show you where I did this on the pattern, but basically I tested it on here because I have a center front seam that I needed, because this top was made out of 1 yard of fabric. So I couldn't cut the V center panel out as a single piece. So I cut it in half, and I added a seam allowance to be able to fit it on 1 yard of bias fabric. And it worked out great. Plus then it gave me a guide to check how much ease I wanted to remove before I lengthened the pattern into a dress. Hey, Linda Lee, welcome. Oh, this is so exciting. All right, so let me show you. I'm going to switch my gears here again and go back over here. And I'm going to make this as big as possible. All right, so this is the Sew Tights cutting mat, and I just want to show you why I love it so much. I know I already did a video on it, but it'll also allow me to show you what the final pattern piece for my dress looked like. If I tried to show you the life-size version of it, you wouldn't be able to see it. It's huge. I had to go on my dining room table and cut out this piece, this one piece, in my size from this size pattern I was working on. So this will give me the opportunity to talk about it and show you what I'm doing here. So basically, this is the bias grain line, and it fits on the fabric like this. So if you're working with 60 wide fabric, I added 20 inches from the original hem length. So if I stand up and let's picture in picture, you can see. So from the hip level hem, I added 20 inches. It's not going to be a maxi dress, but it is going to be a below the knee dress. And I'm still going to play with it and figure out how I can make it into a maxi length dress as well. But for now, I want to just test it in a little bit of a shorter size because it fit and I was happy and I didn't have to do anything else to it to get it to work. But basically, this right here, let me just get a Sharpie marker. This was the V-shaped separate piece. So this whole thing was the V-shaped separate piece. And in the center, I'm going to just dash in the center here. Okay, I took out this much, or I mean half scale wise, this much right here at the hem. I cut it and removed it and taped it together. Now I was going to remove the ease in this sample as well, but if you look at the dress form I'm working with, it's it's like a wide skirt body down at the bottom, and it would have been too tight, so I couldn't do that. Let me just see. My husband is calling me. Hold on. So make sure there's not a puppy problem. Uh-oh, he hung up. Maybe he realizes I'm live. All right, so down the center, I cut it and I overlapped it to get rid of the ease, but I had to put it back for this sample just to make sure it fit the bottom of my dress form here to do the, to do the sample. But in any case, I just wanted to show you that when I was slicing and dicing this pattern to get it to work, I was using the boosters. Look how nice they are. So you can use these booster magnets by themselves, or if you pair it with the ruler, the ruler actually has magnets that are already built into it, which is so cool. So let me just show you that. So you can see here, see that these are magnets, these little discs, and they're set into the plastic. So it's very smooth. And what I want to show you here is I can slide this around, but it's also attached. Like, see, I can't just push it, but I can slide it. And what I was really thinking about is this is a little bit of a pricey sewing tool. It's $375 retail. If you're interested in getting it, use my coupon code though, because you do get 15% off, which brings it closer to $300. But what I was really noticing when I was working on this, I was using the ruler to cut pieces, to true up pieces. And if I needed more strength than this, you take these boosters and they stick right on. And then you'll see if I stick the boosters on, now see, I can't push it. I mean, it's harder to push. So you can really amp up the amount of strength you have to hold your ruler. And what I really think this is going to be good for, the sewer who has everything, who wants the coolest gadgets. I love this thing. I'm going to use the daylights out of it. But I also think it's almost something that can help sewers who have arthritis in their hands and they can't push down, or they have a hard time using the rotary cutter and the ruler together because they have to hold things. So I think that this is something that's really going to help people who have arthritis or carpal tunnel or, shoulder issues, and you need more help holding down your ruler to cut. I'm so impressed with this. And then the other thing I wanted to show you is I've already sold a few people have taken advantage of my affiliate link. If you did, and you're within, you're one of the first 500, and I've been told that they've already sold 500, so there aren't any more of these. But these were going to be a gift for the first 500 people who purchased or got their Sew Magnetic cutting system from Sew Tights. So I do have a link in the description below for this as well, if anybody's interested. But I do really, really love it. The other thing that's nice about this is I can pick this up. I think the ruler will I don't think the ruler will stay put. Well, yeah, see, the ruler, the ruler even stays on when I hold it up. But what I want to show you is it's actually got a darker side on the other side. So depending on what you're working on, it's got a light gray and a dark gray. It has the 1/2 inch markings on this side and the inch markings on this side. It's really, really helpful. And it's a 7-layer mat, and it's very sturdy. So I think, oops, I think you can see the width of that mat. It's really nice, really, really nice. And if you don't get the tote bag, the box that it comes in actually has a handle, and there's a whole foam, the whole inside is foam, so you can put everything away nice and neat. So even if you don't get the tote bag, you can still carry it in this. So very impressed with this, and I just wanted to talk about it, oops, one more time. Now I'm going to put it away, and we're going to sew the dress. Oh, Tana says, I recommended it for a friend who creates purses using materials other than fabric. I showed this to my scrapbooking friend, and she went nuts. So there are a lot of mixed media. It doesn't have to be sewing. It could be scrapbooking. It could be, you know, anytime you have to cut precisely, you know, and you need, especially if you need help holding the ruler down. You know, if I'm cutting on a big project, spending a lot of time, I actually have a sore hand when I'm done. So I really think this is going to be a cool thing to help me sew longer or cut things out longer and more comfortably. And actually, in the spirit of keeping my room neat, I'm just going to ball these up. I'm keeping these on my counter for now, but I'm going to be doing a free booster magnet holder project in the very near future, and then I won't have to just hold them in a ball like this. All right, so in the spirit of keeping my room neat, I'm going to put this away back in its tote bag. Let me do this. And then we're going to get to sew. I thought it would be fun to sew the dress up together and see in real time if it actually works or not. So you'll be able to tell if the dress is working, not behind the scenes, but in real time. Right now we're going to sew it together. And the cool thing about this dress is, because I connected that V center front piece on one side, there's only 3 seams, 2 shoulder seams in that long seam. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, let's get the dress. Now, this is some fabric that I got from Metro Textiles when I was in New York at the National ASG conference. And you know what? Look at this seam. See how this seam, I'm going to go really close so you can see here. This seam, okay, is on the bias. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew it on the linen, and I'm going to wash it and see if it makes a pretty frayed edge, because if it does, I'm going to leave it raw and wear it on the right side. So I'm kind of excited to try that. So that's what we're going to be working on. Oh, hi Andrea from Switzerland. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so last night, I just want to talk about the puppy one more time. The crate training is not going well. She was screaming last night till almost, I don't know, by 4 a.m. I had to bring her in bed with me. I couldn't take it anymore. But I'm a little tired today. So this will be a fun project because there's no hard work here. The first thing I'm going to do is I am going to stay stitch, so when I try it on, I don't pull at the armholes and the neckline edge. So I've already threaded my machine, and I think, let's bring this down so it's a little bit of a nicer view. Let's get us nice and zoomed in here so you can see what I'm going to do. I feel like I'm going to use my fun presser foot that I got. I'm almost embarrassed. Well, I'm not embarrassed, but I did a Cool Tools video using this presser foot, and I can't even believe the number of these that I've actually sold. It's like a little bit crazy. So I think lots of people like this thing. So see what I'm doing is I'm screwing the screw in right here. And what that does is it holds it in position this way. Okay, so I'm going to just put it out here. I'm just going to use it to help hold my linen. So see, now it won't slide, right? And I did show that you could tape it to the machine, and that works really well too. This little guy right here, allows me to swing it out of position, and I think because it's all straight seams, I'm not going to need to swing it. So you do need a, all right, so so if you're doing this and you know you're going to need to tighten it down and you don't have a short little Phillips head, I'm going to just tighten this now so it doesn't swing around. So see, now that's stable, right? I mean I can make it a little bit tighter. All right, then I'm gonna stick this in my little hole here for the screw. I was using this to add a vent onto the neckline of my mom's dress on my little Janome machine, and it was working so well as just a hem guide that I forgot to put the fabric under the clip, and it still worked amazing. All right, let me just pay attention to this for 1 second. All right, so I'm screwing that down. Okay, so see, then I can unscrew this one and I can move it right in front like that. And actually, what I'm going to do is, see right here, this part of it right here, I am going to make it equal with the 1/2 inch on my needle plate, so I'm getting an actual 1/2 inch seam allowance. So I actually have to back it up a little bit like that. So now this edge right here is at a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to use that like that. And let's just stitch along here. I'm going to stay stitch the armholes and the neckline. I'm going to just cut that. All right. So let's start over here. They're all going to be kind of next to each other. So I know that this little section right here is the neckline from here. This is my shoulder seam right here. So I know the neckline goes to here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stay stitch this. Oh, and actually, I want to be in the seam allowance, so I'm going to slide this closer a little bit so I'm within the seam allowance, and then I'll back it up to a 1/2 inch later. So basically, I'm just going to stay stitch this just to keep it from stretching. And you can see it really does make an... Oh, look, I'm doing it again. I'm not using the paddle. Let's put the paddle down. All right, so there's one stay stitched edge. Now let's stay stitch. This is the armhole. And it's a one piece armhole, meaning, oops, oh no, okay. It's, it doesn't have a side seam, so it's like a U shape. Hey, Peggy, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're sewing the dress together, the life size bias dress, and I'm, using my little doodad here. Now, this is not good around the corners, but guess what? My dad got me another presser foot. He's really enjoying this phenomenon that's happening here with him buying me presser feet. So he bought me a presser foot that's for corners, or for curves. I'm going to show you that next week. But let's just see how we can do here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of make my curve into a straight line. That's how I'm going to work it with this presser foot. And actually, because of the clip, it actually does work pretty well. But if you were trying to go around a curve that wasn't flexible like this, you'd have a hard time. Okay. That's one armhole. Oops. Now let's do the back neckline. Now, if you remember from my original pattern, I said I was going to fill it in a little bit. The back neckline was a little bit deeper, and I forgot to do that when I started cutting it out. So I literally just sort of free cut it up higher. That's why it looks like this funny angle there. I might need to play with it a little bit, but I didn't want it to be a deep back opening, so I kind of made it a little bit severe here. All right, so let's see if we can straighten that out. Oops. Did my thread, is it? So I heard a bad noise, but I'm trying to sew through it. I think it's okay. Yeah. All right. All right, so let's just... See, on a tight corner like this, this really doesn't help. So I'm just going to do this. All right, one more stay stitching to do. Oh, Tana says you can tighten the pressure on that little flipper thing too. You can. You do this. If you righty-tighty it, it raises it, and if you lefty loosen it, it puts it lower, which makes it snugger. So see, now it's a little bit snugger, a little bit snappier. Thank you, Tana. All right. So now we're going to do, here's the other side of the neckline. Plus, the other reason why I'm stay stitching is this fabric does really fray. You can see how it's really starting to pull apart there. So, all right, last armhole, and then we're going to pin together that long seam that starts at the base of the neckline and ends at the back hem. So again, I'm gonna straighten out the base of my armhole here to make it straighter. But like having this here, it just, I don't know, it helps the fabric guide under the presser foot really nicely. All right, we are ready to start pinning. So let me just make this bigger now. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna take this, and because this is a cross woven and cross thread dyed linen, there is no right and wrong side to it. If anybody purchased this from Metro Textiles, the one thing I will say is it is a little bit scratchier than it was before I washed it. So it's going to be interesting to see how it feels on my body here. Okay, so Tana's asking me, do you ever serge edges in advance? And the answer to that is yes in most cases. But remember, in this case, I was thinking about it, and I may want to leave this edge raw to make like a little frayed edge, so I didn't. But you absolutely can, if you're planning on finishing the edges, if you want to serge those first, use a narrow 3-thread, or you could use a wide 3-thread. The 3-thread is more stretchy than the 4-thread because it only has one needle holding the looper threads along the edge. So use a 3-thread stitch if you want to finish the edges of things before you sew them. The one thing you have to be careful is don't trim any fabric off, just skim the little threads off, because if you trim the edge, then your seam allowance won't be exactly fabulous. All right, Diane says, you must order one, Diane. Okay, well, I will put my affiliate link to Amazon in the description below when I get off, or if you go look for the the video where I showed how to do this on Cool Tools. I have my affiliate link there. Or if you want to just go look for it, you can do that too. That's fine. I mean, it's not an expensive doodad. I think it actually went back down to $7.99. It's the price fluctuates based on I don't know what, but I think the most it was $14.99, and the last time I checked, it was back down to $7.99. So it's very, very cool. And my dad is, I'm just, I love that he's so interested in like sewing tools, probably because he's a pretty accomplished woodworker. So, you know, he really, you know, gets a kick out of that. Okay, so here's something interesting about this dress. This is the shoulder. So just to make sure I attach the, I start at the top of that long seam properly, I'm gonna just go ahead and use some clips just to hold my neckline together here, because I know that that needs to be matching. So that's my neckline right there. So I'll just put a couple clips there to hold that. Then I know that the tip of this right here is where I kind of need to start pinning it this way. And just to keep track of where I'm going to actually start sewing, I'll use an actual pin, I think. So I'm just going to put one of my little magic pins right here. So that's going to be the seam, and we're going to start sewing here. We're going to go down this way. So I'm just going to, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to the bottom, and I'm going to match them up. Bias stretches, and I tested the paper to make sure it was exact. Now notice, because of the angle here, you're going to get the little V, right? So I don't want to connect this all the way down here, right? I want this little pokey thing to, so it's even at a 1/2 inch right there, right? So this is the hem edge. So I'm pinning it on the hem edge right there. And then I can take this, I'm going to move my machine over, and I'm just going to lay this flat. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to get this to agree or line up, because I want to just make sure the edges are not getting stretched out of shape. It's a big long seam. So see how I'm kind of just getting them to agree, and then I can start pinning. And when I pin down, I'm going to use clips, because what's the difference between pins and clips? Clips don't fall off, pins can fall off. So I'm going to just use some clips here. And again, I'm just laying it flat so I can make sure that I'm lining it up properly. I'm very excited to try this dress on. I've been, you know, this whole time I've been working on the tops, getting the armhole right, you know, fussing around. So this is like a big moment for me to get this to get to this moment where we're actually going to try them on, or to be able to try it on. If it doesn't fit, I might cry, but you'll be here to comfort me if we have a boo-boo, we'll say. In case anybody's wondering, I did not try to match up all those little squares in the weave of the fabric. I'm just literally just going to sew it. What I'm kind of hoping happens is I'm kind of hoping that the seam disappears in the design of the fabric. All right, so I think we're good. So now we're going to sew. So let me bring this back over here. All right, let's zoom back in. All right. Tana says, I love that you're a pro and get so excited over projects. Oh my gosh. I really, you know what, when I get a chance to sew something that I'm actually going to wear, that's when I get the most excited. because unless I'm doing a demo or something for a class, I rarely have time to sew for myself. And actually, just between us, I'm wearing these shorts that I made, these blue shorts out of my organic cotton I got at Fabric Mart. They are so stained now. I wear them every time they come out of the wash. They're so comfortable. But happy dance, I bought enough I can make a new pair so I can have a clean pair. All right, so I'm just going to stick this under here like this. Oh, let's back it up to a 1/2 inch. Let's do that. Because now we want to sew at an actual 1/2 inch. So I'm going to back that up and tighten it back down. And then this is, oh, get the paddle. Yep. All right. Super excited. All right, let's see. So if this is going to work for like a ruffle, then I'm going to go back and sew it again with a little zigzag to prevent it from fraying all the way to the actual seam. We will see what happens here. So I'm going to gently, if you remember from the beginning when I showed how to sew on the bias, I'm going to stretch this slightly to give the seam a little bit of give. So I'm just giving it a little bit of a gentle stretch. Not a lot. But look how nice it holds 2 layers of fabric. I love this thing. Plus it's very easy to sew an accurate seam allowance too. And I know, Diane, my Wonder Clips are upside down, some of them. I'm sorry. Just making sure we have it all nice and neat. I mean, I may develop this into a pattern. It will actually be instant gratification. Once you get it and make any adjustments you need, you can literally, after you cut it out, it literally takes 10 minutes to sew together because it's only got 3 seams. So I don't know if anybody's been actually, you know, working along with me. But if you are and you made the top, then it's really no big deal to lengthen this into an actual dress. All right, we're almost at the bottom of this big long seam. So Pat asks, have your dad tried for a foot that rolls fabric? I'm going to get on that. I'm going to get on a rolling thing or a binding thing or something that does that. That's on my list. And Pat also bought a stubby Phillips head screwdriver from a vendor at a quilt show, so you can you can share the link, Pat. Absolutely. If you have a link for a stubby Phillips head that will help people get in there, you go ahead and share that. And sidebar, Diane B, it's time for lunch. Week of September 17th. I love it. My 2 Dianes became friends because they met each other. They realized they lived close enough together that they could get together. That makes my heart so happy. All right, let's see here. All right, that would be done. Now, oops. Now it's just a small matter of doing the armholes. So basically I'm just gonna, let me just lay this flat so I can show you. All right, so now if I lay this flat, you can see there's my center back, right? And now I also have a center front like that. So see, there's the V at the top, or the seam that's at the base of the V. So if I were going to keep this raw, these I'd want on the inside. So I'm actually going to pretend that's the right side now. Well, you know what? For now, let me just sew the shoulders. I'll just baste the shoulders together because I'm not sure. I might have to make it that seam on the inside if it doesn't fray nicely in the wash. So for now, let me just baste these together. And I will finish these edges before I wash it to check that long seam and see how it frays in the wash. I'm also going to put some Coca-Cola into the wash to see if it softens the fibers that are scratchy in this. I'm going to try that too. All right, so see, let's just do these shoulder seams. You know what? If I had brought the shoulder seam forward so it sat over here, that would look kind of cute to have like a little ruffle here, but I didn't think of that. All right, let's sew these shoulder seams and then it's time to try it on. This is very exciting. I love that we're making lunch plans during Fast Fit Friday, ladies. Makes my heart happy. Okay. Oops. All right. All right, let's see. All right. You notice I'm back tacking on the ends. I'm pretty optimistic that I'm gonna like the frayed edge in the seam. I think because this dress is so simple, because it's just the fabric really, having a little bit of a frayed edge might add some pizzazz to it. Plus it's red, right? It's not black or navy. All right. Okay. I'm gonna try this on right now. So just give me 1 minute. You can talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Oh, I'm very excited. Hold on 1 second. I'm putting it over my head. All right, I'm not even gonna look until you guys can see it before I see it, or we'll see it at the same time. Let me just take my shorts off because it is close fitting. All right. Ooh, this is gonna be exciting. All right, here I come. Here's the big reveal. Okay, let's see. Oh gosh, I'm kind of excited. Let me move this out of the way. All right, hey Mary. Mary, you're here for the big reveal. I sewed the dress together. Let me see if I can. So that's how oh, it actually was longer than I thought. Wow, it's pretty long. I didn't think it was going to be that long. I only added 20 inches to the hem. So there's how the skirt looks. I'm feeling pretty fancy. Do you see the curved seam here? All right, now let's look at the top. Oh my God, I am in love I am in love. I'm in love. Do, do, do. Do. Of course, you can see I have like dark underwear on and dark bra on, so I'm sorry about that. But now here's what I'm excited about. Oh, hey Judy. Judy, you just got here. You'll have to go back and watch from the beginning. I had a whole bunch of surprises at the beginning of this episode, but oh my gosh, I am going to make this out of more than one fabric. I'm telling you that right now. Look at that. So what do we think about leaving this on the outside if it frays nicely? That could be kind of cool, right? You know, and I can trim it shorter. So anyway. Oh, DIY Girl says, I wouldn't have considered sewing it on the outside. It's creative. Well, I don't love it this big. This is a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So when it frays, I might be able to trim it to like a little 1/4. And I think that might look cool. But I'm going to wash it. But, oh, now this is what I was hoping for. I was hoping for like a slip dress kind of feel. But notice it's not pulling on my tummy either. So I'm pretty darn happy. Pretty darn happy. All right. So I'm excited. Oh, I can sit down in it. See? I can cross my legs. There I am. Now, see how I don't have a giant amount of fabric in my lap because, let me just get the shirt so I can show you. All right, so when I was wearing all of those tops that I made, yes, Mary's, maybe I could even fray the, well, I probably will, you know, maybe, well, yeah, I've already stay stitched the neckline and armholes. I wonder how it would look if that were frayed too. That might be too much. I think I'm going to finish the armholes and neckline, but the hem would be very pretty frayed. Definitely going to fray the hem. After sitting in it, how will it look? All right, I'm going to sit in it really hard, and then when I get up, I'll show you how it looks. This linen, by the way, does not wrinkle. It rumples, but it does not get those bad wrinkly creases that like smooth linen gets. All right, let me switch over here for a second. I just want to show you something. Oh, I don't want to show you that. Let me get myself in a way where I can show you what I want to show you here. So let me show you the inside of this dress, or this top. And I used red thread so you can really see. See how much I took out of, why did that get so bright all of a sudden? Let me, hold on one second. Oops. Oh, Mary wants to know if I'm going to shorten it. I don't know. I'm gonna try it first before I decide if I'm going to shorten it. It is longer than I thought it was going to be, though. I will admit to you about that. But it feels very ladylike. I have to say, I feel very ladylike. Yes, the fabric does feel a little bit scratchy, but it's not as bad as I thought. I'm going to wash it in Coke with Coca-Cola to see if it softens up the fibers. But see, what I did was, this is the center front seam that I added, and you can see, I think I even took off more in the dress. This is only about 3 inches. I think I took almost 4 inches off the pattern before I extended it into a skirt, because I didn't want a pile of fabric over here in my belly when I sat down. So anyway, I have to say, you know how like I start these things sometimes and then they end up being or they end up being not what I thought. This is my dream. I've made my dream. I'm so excited. So, and of course I'm going to let it hang so it can fall and lengthen some more. So we'll see how long it is. in the end. Oh, is it, what is it, Diet Coke that people use? I think it's Diet Coke people use, but I really think it's the whatever's in Coke and Diet Coke that's, you know, takes rust off nails is the thing that might make this whatever. But I could always, I could line it in like a cotton voile, something really, really lightweight, and just do the neckline and armholes like the burrito method, and then it would be finished and it would be lined. I could do that too. So we'll see. I'll have options. But the first thing I'm going to do is wash it. And I think I'll finish the edges on the neckline and armhole with of the serger. I'll wash it and I'll share with what happened with the fray. But anyway, this was like super excited. So I just want to remind everybody, next week, we're going to start working on a project from this book. So if you have this book, fabulous. If you don't have the book, you can still follow along. I'm going to share, you know, details. But if you like working on the bias and you want to try something really cool, plus the authors are super sweet ladies, and they're giving us $10 off. Remember, if you use the link in the description, remember to use the coupon code JStern2023 to get $10 off this book. It's spiral bound and it's author signed if you buy it from her website, and the link is there for that. All right, so what is DIY Girl saying now? The thing I like about the exterior seam is the inside is smooth against your skin. Yeah, that is nice. There isn't anything rubbing. Are there bias pants in that book? No, there are not. Now, you know, because I am a pants, you know, pants are my favorite, right? So you know I'm going to be exploring bias pants in the near future after I do this project in that book, because a long time ago, I was in a thrift store and I found a pair of black bias cut men's jeans in a giant size, and I took them apart and I laid my jean pattern on the fabric and I made them, and I love them. They're somewhere in my storage. I will find them and show you. They don't fit me anymore, but I do know that bias works in wonderful ways for pants. Maybe not in the way you would think. Like most people say, don't use denim when you're, you know, working, or yeah, twill and denim and heavier fabrics are not good on the denim. I mean, on the bias, but they are. You can do them for different reasons, but, here, let me just tell you one other exciting thing. I'm looking at the top of me. I love this fabric. I have enough fabric. I bought 3 yards, and I think he gave me a generous 3 yards cut of this. So I have enough to make a top out of this too. Maybe I'll make the top with one seam to here. So, oh, super excited. So I will be getting to bias pants, and Pat says, well done, my jump into the rabbit hole doesn't always work out so well. Well, Pat, neither does mine all the time either. That's why that's why I'm like so excited right now. Oh my God, I think this is probably one of my favorite Fab Fit Fridays. I'm like so excited. So yay. So everyone who came late, I just want to share this one little thing. Robin from Robin's Rockin' Creations on Etsy sent me this free vintage inspired pin cushion, and I love it. If you're looking for a unique Christmas gift or Hanukkah gift, holiday gift for a sewer on your list, there is a link to her Etsy store in the description below. I just want to remind everybody about that. And I will put the link for that fabulous little metal hem guide in the description as soon as I get off. I hope everybody is surviving if they're having the heat flash that we're having. It's 90 degrees here. It's September 8th. It's hot. I didn't close my pool though, so guess what I'm going to do this afternoon? Float. Anyway, all right, let's look and see what happened after I sat down in this dress. So far, that's what's happening. I can't see, but you know, again, I am going to let it hang as well. So super excited about the dress. And thank you guys for following along with me. I really, really appreciate it. So yay. So I'm very excited. So if anybody doesn't have any questions, I'm going to sign off now and find out what trouble my little cutie pie is getting into. And if anybody didn't see a picture, you know, I probably should share a picture for people who haven't seen it yet. My husband is a professional videographer and photographer, so he takes really, really good pictures. So here's one of my favorites. How cute she is. So I'm going to have to see, I'm going to have to go see what she's eating or chewing. I think my husband is on duty right now, but I'll show her to you next week. She's very cute. Diane says it lays nicely. I like the length. Oh, Diane Fetter says it looks great. Oh, Judy says so adorable. I think she was referring to the pin cushion. Oh, this was an uplifting session according to DIYer Girl. Thank you so much. Yay. So I'm gonna go now. I'm super happy. I'm gonna get this in the wash right now because I'm dying to see, well, as soon as I finish the edges or do something with the neckline and armholes, getting this in the wash because I really want to see what the fray does. And then I'm going to let it hang. So yay. You guys have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. We're going to start part 1 of Bias Cut Blueprint Project. So get ready for that. It's going to be super fun. Oh, Judy likes the way the skirt hangs too. Thank you so much, you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day and have a happy weekend. And I'll see you for my full schedule of videos next week. Because of my tooth, which ended up happy, I didn't need a crown and I didn't need anything fancy. I had to cancel subscriber Q&A, and because of Labor Day, I missed Fit Tip Tuesday this week, but don't worry, everything will be back next week. So have a great weekend. Thank you, Judy. Judy, there's a lot of Judys and Dianes. I think that's the popular name in here today. But thank you everybody for watching, and have a lovely weekend, and I will see you next week. Subscriber Q&A. I'm going to be talking about adaptive sewing. If you're sewing for somebody who is in a wheelchair or someone who leans forward or bends forward, like my mom. I got a question from a subscriber, so I'm going to be talking about how to adjust your pattern pieces to make it easier to put things on. So I'm going to talk about all of that on Wednesday. So you can, that's what I'm doing for subscriber Q&A on Wednesday. So I already know what that's going to be. All right. Have a nice weekend, everybody. And thank you for watching. Bye.